Hi everyone, this is Miss Marion. I'm going to try and give you a brief overview of how the Panama Canal works. As you know, Panama is a small country that borders between Columbia and Costa Rica. It also sits between the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean. Building the Panama Canal was an amazing feat that took 10 years, using millions of explosives to evacuate a large portion of the Isthmus of Panama where the canal would be built. After removing the debris and creating an opening between the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean, a problem still existed because the Pacific Ocean sea level is higher than the sea level of the Atlantic Ocean. To compensate for these sea level differences, the engineers dammed the nearby Panama River, which created the Gatun Dam. This new dam created the world's largest man-made lake at that time. It is called the Gatun Lake. This lake is 85 feet above sea level. It's also important because it supplies the necessary water levels for the ships to transit from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean and vice versa. To keep the ships leveled as they transit from one ocean to another, the engineers designed a set of locks. There are three sets of locks at each ocean. There are three sets of locks at the Pacific Ocean and three sets of locks are at the Atlantic Ocean. These locks have chambers that are filled with water from the Gatun Lake. The gravity of the water will either raise or lower the ship to the level of the lake, which will allow the ship to move from locks to locks before transitioning out to either the Atlantic Ocean or the Pacific Ocean. There are three sets of locks: the Gatun locks, the Pedro Miguel locks, and the Miraflores locks. Each lock's chambers are 100 feet wide and over 1,000 feet long. Once the ship enters the lock's chambers, huge doors at each end of the chambers are sealed closed. Then the water from the lake enters the chambers. The gravity of the water causes the ship to rise to the level of the lake. So, if the ship enters on the Pacific Ocean side, the Miraflores locks and the Pedro Miguel locks will raise or lower the ship 54 feet to the level of the lake. If the ship is entering from the Atlantic Ocean, then the Gatun locks raises or lowers the ship 85 feet to the level of the lake. On each side of the lock's chambers are train tracks where electric locomotives called mules are used to guide the ship through the chambers to keep the ship aligned so that it doesn't hit the chamber walls. In this video, I am standing on the observation deck of the Miraflores locks. As you can see, a ship is arriving from the Pacific Ocean. Once the ship enters the chambers of the Miraflores locks, the gates at both ends of the chambers will seal shut. Water from the Gatun Lake will flow inside the chambers. The gravity of the water will lift the ship 54 feet high to reach the level of the lake. When the ship is at the level of the lake, the gates will open, allowing the ship to continue on to another lock and eventually out to the Atlantic Ocean. The entire process for a ship to transit through the Panama Canal takes about 8 to 10 hours. In June of 2016, the Panama Canal was extended to add a third lane to allow larger ships your transit from ocean to ocean. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to share it with your family and friends. Give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Thank you, love you, and I'll see you next Tuesday.